the best in this sport. Whether you like it or not, learn to love it because it's the best thing going today. Woo!
Welcome in. A little special time here, 7 o'clock with you. My man Knowshon's got some stuff. Listen, he's a jet flying, limousine riding.
That's who he is.
Kiss stealing, wheeling, dealing. Son of a gun. He's got some business to take care of too.
I drop my drink everywhere. What in the
That's
world?
That's it. You heard the Nate in the intro there. That's what Knowshon's living tonight. That's it. That's it. So I got a little event, so we appreciate you guys tuning in early with us here on Georgia Players Section. Guys, it's been a while. We didn't get to do a show last week. Life gets in the way a little bit, so we're going to be talking about some SEC post-spring power rankings. That ought to be fun because I know Knowshon's going to have some differences with TK and myself, and it's going to be fun to go with. Knowshon, you're muted.
Yeah, I'm on the phone. My fault. I told you I dropped my drink everywhere.
Oh my God, we got all kinds of stuff going on. So
got cleanup duty.
TK, before we get started, go ahead and tell us a little bit about you guys. Played in the the Pollock family celebrity golf tournament this weekend. So tell us a little bit about that. You rocking the hat from the Georgia club, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I got a nice little hat from the club. My boys got the Pollock family
Nice.
Foundation hat on. It was a great event that Pollock put on. So good that I got to give him my king of the week for sure. He raised I think over $75,000, maybe even more than that.
It was like at least 100. Some change.
Okay, yeah. I had a little sauce in me, the numbers.
Yeah, chill out.
Yeah, but no, he raised over $100,000 for Choa. And that's just amazing. Had a lot of people out there. Great event, 7th annual one. Hats off to him. Had a great time. Obviously, we'll be doing that again. And looking forward to having you back on the show for sure, Pollock. Great event.
Absolutely. Knowshon, how'd you hit him? How'd you hit him at the golf tournament this past week?
You know what? I was real easy with the swing because I didn't want to aggravate the back, right? So I was real easy with it. But I think we did well as a whole squad. We ended up second place, I was thinking about it yesterday in the shower. Weird place, but I was like, bro, how we come in second? So because we birdied everything and we just didn't eagle 2 par 5s. And they eagled them and they birdied everything out. So that's how they got that 29. I'm like, bro, because we were out there playing perfect. So
was playing golf out there.
Yeah, sure. But no, I think it was a good week, man. So it was good. Like what TK said, it was a good cause. It was good to get out there and kind of mingle with the players from Georgia. Now we were with Warren out there, big boy. So that was awesome to be with him, and then just out there enjoying that golf life. So it was cool.
Absolutely. Well, I'm enjoying getting to be back here with you guys. Put a little content up, and we're going to get it rolling right here, right off the bat. Guys, I wanted to go into first before we go into our power rankings. I wanted to show you guys a little bit. I'm going to throw it up here on the screen about Vegas. They've been doing some moving and shaking here this weekend. You guys been out on the course. Well, Vegas has been kind of setting up some win totals have come out in the last few days for the SEC, some early betting lines. So I'm going to throw these up on the screen and let you guys tell us what you think about them. These are the over-under win totals. You see the West on the left, the East on the right. It's pretty good time for Kirby Smart and Company when that the over-under on your win total is 11.5.
Yeah, no worries in Athens for sure. The Bama one, I don't know. How y'all feel about the Bama one? 10.5.
Yeah, throw it in the chat. We want to hear what you think. Over under. Throw the teams. We got Frank in here. We got Mickey, Daniel. We Antoine. We love hearing what you guys think as well. Knowshon TK started monitoring that chat a little more closely now. They're keeping an eye on what you guys are saying.
I'm in there now. I know y'all was in there like that.
They in there, boy.
Yeah,
let's see. I mean, everything looks Tennessee. Let's see. I like I like Tennessee's for a 9-game winning streak or 9 games over. I like it. That's about right for them. 9.5, 9 games.
I'm the LSU's the one that I'm looking at. I'm like, I think they're gonna be better than they were last year. So I think 9.5 is almost disrespectful to the defending SEC West champion. I feel like that with what they have coming back on the offensive side of the ball, they're as much of a prohibitive favorite, I feel like, right now, especially Knowshon. I don't know how you feel about Alabama's situation with the quarterback and all that, but I feel like LSU's going to go over that total.
Yeah, I believe so as well. So, I mean, and like we were saying, I mean, 10 for Alabama, especially like what you just mentioned, that quarterback situation. I mean, it ain't the worst thing in the world, but yeah, this is interesting. You might as well, because these can change, right?
Yeah, I mean,
So
these are the preseason over/under totals right now that people are taking. I'm sure as they get bet one way or another, people may, they may put out another round of them or something like that.
Sure,
But these are the earliest ones. Yeah, these are the earliest ones. And here's the thing about that Alabama situation: people question, okay, Georgia. The big question for Georgia was like, okay, is Carson Beck going to be able to come in there and solidify the quarterback spot? Well, we saw in the spring he looked pretty sporty. He looked like he was able to take care of business, and he'll lock down that job most likely. But Alabama, TK, it is a straight wild situation. Whereas we thought Ty Simpson and Jalen Milroe were going to lock that job down, but it comes out that Alabama wasn't real happy with what they saw in the spring, and Tommy Rees brings in Tyler Buckner, who got beat out at Notre Dame, where Tommy Rees came from, and Tommy Rees had a hand in replacing him at Notre Dame. That is nuts to me. What are your thoughts on that situation?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's kind of a cluster F over there. If you're going into after spring game and you're bringing in another quarterback into an already what I would say a heated quarterback battle. So now you just adding, God, I mean, how do you even share those reps? So I was like, how do you allocate those reps? Like with 3 guys that you're trying to look at, like
that's the thing.
Heavy.
I mean, that's the thing. Usually, when it goes into those threes, we're like, okay, we know they're 3. But you gotta have to take those 3 reps serious. Go out there and ball out and show it in practice. So I mean, I feel like this is not necessarily a bad situation for the quarterbacks. Hey, it's competition. We need to, is it going to be a team, Jalen, or not? You know what I'm saying? And we're going to bring someone in here just in case it's not. That's wanting and ready to win that situation and win that job. So I like that they're bringing more into for the competition wise. You know what I mean? Because you might just see some people hit that portal. You never know.
Antoine's at Bama put them under at 10. I definitely think they'll go under the 10.5. Now, here's the thing, Knowshon, with that Alabama situation, have you or TK, either one, have y'all been a part of a 3-way quarterback battle? Like it's on a team? Because a 3-way quarterback battle, like you said, I would feel like it would get very, very hard to allocate the reps and figure out, okay, how we're going to compete in this. Or is it that you think mentally they've already got one of these guys kind of written off, and that's why Tyler Buckner's there to begin with?
I don't think I've ever been part of like a serious like this. Like we don't know who the guy's going to be. Yeah, you gotta think that somebody's about to go somewhere else.
I'm shocked that none of them entered the portal in the window, because Tyler Buckner committed to Alabama before the portal window was closed, and you would have thought Milroe or Simpson would have jumped out, and neither did. So now they're stuck until after the season. There's no portal window.
So no more. They can't do it anytime soon.
No, they're here.
That's a little tough. That's a little tough at the same time.
I don't know. It's going to be interesting, bro, because again, it's a good thing. It's a good thing for the stat or for that
Bama's
team.
depth,
it's a good thing for the depth, but like
the overall quality, who knows?
Like you don't know. And then on the other side of that, like morale, like as a receiver, like shit, who's my guy? Like Who?
Yeah.
So I don't know, bro. It's gonna be interesting.
Y'all be thinking that?
I think shit. Sometimes.
I guess so, because you want to have that relationship with the quarterback. You know what I mean? Almost like where he can just throw it to a spot, know you're gonna be there.
Yeah, that
I feel that.
Yeah, 100%. In my
Daniel
opinion,
says LSU will take Bama out of the West Hunt. So
I agree. I agree there, Daniel. I think I would flip that 10.5. I would think I'd flip Bama and LSU.
Frank says maybe Saban's trying to find out who has that dog in him. DAWG dog. All right. So listen, I think that, that's obviously intriguing up top. I don't know that Tennessee's going to be as good as everybody thinks they're going to be. We disagree. Me and TK disagree heavily on Joe Milton. That's well documented. If you had to look on this, Knowshon, and think of two teams that maybe, or any number of teams that you think may be undersold here, that they're not giving enough credit to, who are some teams that you think that would be?
You know why I'm laughing? Because, but you asked that question, I looked right at Missouri and said, what they thinking? 6.5? I'm like, I mean, but didn't they get 6 last year? They got 6.
They were 5 at 5 last year, and they were not very good, in terms of offensively.
6.5. And then what I'm saying, I mean,
could have easily been.
Miss maybe
could have easily been 7.
They could have had 8 wins, no doubt.
Yeah.
Could have easily 7, 8.
I mean, they almost beat Georgia. They played Georgia the best that anybody played Georgia all year. Missouri did, and they gave away the Auburn game by fumbling through the end zone in overtime. I mean, that's 2 for sure. And there was a couple others that they were close with. I mean, you're talking about a non-conference schedule for them: South Dakota, Middle Tennessee, Kansas State, Memphis, and then Vanderbilt. Heck, they could legitimately start the season off 5-0. They could be that at least 4-1 by the end of September, before things start getting hard. And then I'm not sure they get South Carolina at home. Tennessee has to go to Columbia. I'm rocking with Missouri to go on the over there as well.
Interesting to see, especially.
Yeah, I'll give them over 6.
That defense.
They got that defense. They bring like 9 guys back on defense, right?
A ton. Even some guys that aren't starters that are returning guys. They got a bunch of depth and a bunch of experience on that defense. Now, what I want to see is why in the heck, because I think by the time we get to our power rankings, why is Kentucky, when they got hashtag the truth over there, Devin Leary at quarterback?
Come on, bro.
Why are they at 6.5? Can y'all explain this to me?
How is he hashtag the truth? I ain't seen him. Sauce, you know that boy?
Ain't nobody seen him. They've locked down spring practice.
I saw him when he was.
They're keeping it all the eyes away.
But I saw it when he was having that competition in the last place he was at. It wasn't NC State. Where the hell was he at again? Where was he at?
Listen,
you ain't like it. You ain't like him.
He was okay. It's the same thing. It's the same thing with Peyton Thorne that transferred that over to Auburn. It's almost the same thing where it's like, okay, I see something, but where's that zip at in tight coverage I need? You know what I'm saying? You making good throws, don't get me wrong, but it's like I need to see that zip in tight coverage because that's going to be tight coverage in the SEC. And these guys from this other conference trying to come up here, and he giving them the crown already. Stop it, Blaine. But
he tore his pec. Devin Leary tore his pec in last year, so now he's healed. He's healed up and everything. But the year before, his first year starting at NC State, he goes out there 65% completion, 3,400 yards, 35 touchdowns to 5 interceptions. The dude was dealing. He wasn't turning the ball over.
You in the A League now. You're in the
B League. Okay, we'll see. We'll see how he's
playing. We're gonna see. But maybe it's because of that off. Well, they did, get some help on the offensive line, some depth there, right? So I mean, I'm not really super impressed with the back. I mean, the dude got some receivers. I like where they at with the 6. Maybe I would say 7 though. I mean, at least give them 7.
7. Ooh, that's the thing. It's going to be. I think you're going to see one of those two teams, Missouri or Kentucky, kind of take a step forward in the East this year, and it's going to be. It's going to be interesting to see.
Well, who's it going to be? Is it going to be you or him, bro?
I think it'll be Kentucky. I think Kentucky over Missouri is who I would pick in that one. Listen, they added an offensive lineman just 3 days ago from Ohio State, Ben Chrisman, 6'6", 299. So that's another offensive lineman that they've added in via the transfer portal. You know, so I mean, they've got some big guys that have come in this offseason up front that are trying to help out the cause and protect Devin Leary as well.
Because he can't escape like that either. Remember that now.
He's not the most mobile guy. I'll give you that for sure. But here's the thing on Georgia, okay? Let's circle back to Georgia real quick. Is there any of these teams on their schedule? I mean, certainly a lot of people were talking about South Carolina a lot coming into spring ball. And then I think those expectations, you see Vegas, those got tampered down pretty quick. I don't think people like what they saw coming out of spring. Is Tennessee that only team that can, you know, providing Georgia just doesn't self-destruct, that can test Georgia this year? Or, you know, did Missouri on the road last year show us that, hey, it's the SEC and you just got to bring it every week?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's 100% apparent. It is the SEC. Kind of like the NFL, any given Sunday, bro. You saw last year, excuse me, how Mizzou played. You just talked about it, how Mizzou played us extremely tight. And then every other week they Mizzou. So it's definitely any given Saturday out here. So yeah, I don't know. It could get scary.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, the
November 11th, Knowshon Lane Train comes to Athens.
Well, even before then, I was thinking about, you know, that October 28th game, that Florida. You know how it is, man. That one is always a game.
I don't know, bro. I
know. I'm just saying, you know, they're gonna start off strong. You know what I mean? We gotta go out there and smack them.
Florida.
I think I done joined the UF fans with the Billy Napier stuff, man. I don't know.
Yeah, so Frank DiCarlo says Ole Miss may give Georgia some fits in the first half. And listen, Lane Kiffin, if there's one thing he can do, he can scheme you up now.
Yeah, so he's gonna do that. 100%. That's
going to be a good matchup. My question is, do you guys think out of the West there, they've got Ole Miss with the third highest over under there out of the West? Do you feel like that at that point in the year, Ole Miss will still have that punch? Because remember last year they started off 7-0, and then they went on to lose, you know, 5 or 6 straight over there. So do you think that the new quarterback coming in, whether it's Spencer Saunders or even if Jackson Dart holds on to that job, I mean, do you guys feel like they'll be able to withstand? Maybe did they learn from last year, or is this going to be the same type of Ole Miss team, you think?
Man, the two teams that's beside each other there, Ole Miss and Texas A&M, very similar to me, just because they both just kind of hadn't gotten over the hump. So I don't know. Will it be another fair year for Ole Miss? It could very well be. I mean, you got another quarterback battle that we're talking about in the West. We know what Jackson Dart can do, but like you said, will he step up and be that guy? And then what's around him? Like what's around him out there? Michael Trey, obviously.
They got
right?
Chris Marshall. They got Chris Marshall that transferred in from Texas A&M to Ole Miss. He's going to be that guy. He's going to be kind of like an X receiver out there for him, TK. So they're going to be trying to target him. But we all know what it's about over there. It's about your fellow Sean over there, Quinn Sean.
I was just about to say that. Yeah, exactly. Listen, exactly. If you have Quinn Sean over there, you still got a chance. You know what I mean? Going on to the second year. So I'm excited to see that. But and it's a late in the year, this game. You know what I'm saying? They should have an identity by that time, and they should be rolling. So yeah, I think it could be a good game. I think
Frank makes a good point. He said Ole Miss might average 45 on offense and give up 46 on defense. No doubt.
Frank made 2 great points right there. They're gonna scheme up that first half, and they're gonna give up some points.
Jerry said that he thinks maybe Bobby Petrino makes a difference at Texas A&M. I do too. And something happened this weekend. They brought in a dual threat quarterback in Jalen Henderson out of the transfer portal from Fresno State. He's not an experienced guy. I don't think he's going to start, but you add a true dual threat guy into your quarterback depth there. And what I think that does, TK and Knowshon, is I think that allows Bobby Petrino. He showed in the spring game that they couldn't hit him, but he would run Connor Wegman. You know, he would run him. He's a big body guy, get him downhill on some of those power reads and stuff like that. And I think having that quarterback depth frees you up to say, hey, I'm going to run my quarterback a little bit, because we saw what happened with Florida last year. Anthony Richardson could run all day, but Billy Napier wouldn't run him because he didn't have a backup quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I like it too, but listen, honestly, I have no faith. And
no faith.
I have no faith in their
the
quarterback
Aggies.
situation. I really don't, and then, losing their back. I mean, I really have no faith. But you said they brought someone in. Listen, when LSU brought Jaden Daniels in, I said, okay, let me see the tape. And I could see it in the tape. So let me see what this other tape is. Well, I mean, he won't have anything out there.
Yeah,
right?
he doesn't have any.
I mean,
You can see his high school tape. That's
I'll
about
be able
it.
to see something, you know what I'm saying? And we can make that decision once he gets there. But I still have no faith in the Aggies. I don't.
Yeah, listen, I said yeah, because yeah, I think they just gonna be what they are, bro. Like, I don't think until they show me otherwise, bro, I think they're gonna be what they are. Obviously, Bobby Petrino is an amazing coach.
Yeah.
But Jimbo's still at the helm, obviously, I think. So we'll see. Yeah, Blaine, we've been saying the same thing. How long we been doing the show, Blaine?
Petrino only makes a difference if Jimbo gets out of the way, is what Low Country Dog said.
There it is.
He agrees with you. He agrees with you.
I don't know. We'll see.
All right, moving on to Vegas. Also released some early lines here, and I think these are very intriguing to me. Look at that first one. Them Gators that we saw. I'll go back to their Vegas has them at over under 5.5, and now they got them going out to Utah and got the Utes beating them by at least 10. The Utes are a 10-point favorite. I think that just shows you kind of where Florida is right now, Knowshon, especially with losing Anthony Richardson.
Exactly, and a lot of other pieces. I mean, they still got backs. They still got is Etienne still there, right? He's still there, right?
Yeah, Etienne was a freshman last year.
Good. Yeah. Well, you never know with this portal, bro. Someone just left yesterday. So
no doubt.
Gracious. I can't keep up. So, but no, okay. But at the same time, man, it's just so much questions in the air over there, especially at that quarterback position. I'm not a believer of Hurts.
Graham Mertz.
So we'll see.
Schmertz.
Yeah.
What? Any one of those early lines stand out to you, TK, as you're looking across them? Of course, you see 2 blowout victories. But listen, everybody was saying, "Oh, you better watch out for South Carolina week 3 to Georgia." Georgia is a 24-point favorite, and we saw after Kirby Smart gave it the first down blankety blank to Shane Beamer across the way last year. I think Kirby Smart always enjoys putting up numbers on South Carolina.
Yeah, I think that number right there is probably right. Even just looking at what we saw South Carolina's offensive line look like in their spring game, just the struggles they had there. Yeah, so I mean, I definitely think that 24 points is probably more than that.
Mickey says Dogs need to be a double-digit favorite over Tennessee. Now, remember, this is in Knoxville. This is in Knoxville. They're a 7.5-point favorite, so they're more than a touchdown favorite in Knoxville. Guys, it is, as much as I don't think Joe Milton is that dude like you do, TK, it is a possibility. You got to be a realist out there and say, hey, Tennessee could be a one-loss or no-loss team at that point in the year, and we know those Rocky Top rednecks up there are going to be liquored up and ready to go for what will probably be a 3:30 game. Knowshon, TK, y'all both played up there. Just give us a clue of kind of what that atmosphere would be like if it was that high of stakes game between Georgia and Tennessee.
Yeah, it'll be rocking in there for sure. The energy will be epic. It'll be crazy. The stakes will be high. It'll probably be, if both teams are undefeated at that point, it'll probably be a game day game. So yeah, I mean, it'll be one of those ones. that you want to be a part of. But I think I might have to agree with Brad. As much as I love Joe Milton, he isn't Hendon Hooker. And you saw what we did to Hendon Hooker. So
Yes.
I think I might have to. I think I might have to agree with Brian on that.
2 years ago on that. Now that was year one under Heupel. They got markedly better, Knowshon, from year one to year two. Do you think Tennessee stays on that level from year two to year three, or do you think they take a step back with what they losing guys like Byron Young on defense, Hendon Hooker on offense? They lost Jalen Hyatt and Cedric Tillman at wide receiver. Do you think Tennessee maintains that level or is able to replace those guys?
I mean, when you think about how great of a year they had last year, right? It almost like I was thinking about this earlier. It was like it's almost like tricking me because they ain't usually like that, right? So it's like, dang, are we thinking about them too strongly off the rip? We ain't making them prove it yet, like multiple years. Like this is 1 year, and like what you said, Blade, they had all those weapons which are now gone. It's like, hold on, maybe we need to see what they can do and make them go out there and prove it. I mean, they do still have what's his name? Jabari Smalls. So I love that. I love that they still got my back over there because you got to be able to run the ball in the SEC, man. So I always talk about my back. So they got some great backs over there, and Wright they have over there as well that can take a little bit of pressure off the quarterback and kind of open up that pass game because you need both of those things to work. So I want to step back and say they need to go out there and prove it. But they are tricking me with the last year, man. They got me food out here.
So this is a great point by Low Country Dog here. He says Tennessee might be the first game we get to see how Carson responds when things aren't easy. Stet was a beast in the big moments. That's true, guys. It could be realistically, Georgia could just thump everyone on their way to Tennessee, and that'd be the first time that the pucker factor comes into effect for Carson. You know what I'm saying?
Blaine, don't be just overlooking your Heisman candidate over there. That's OD, man. You think
he did just do it, didn't he?
Right? Because isn't he? He should be able to keep them in the
game. Blasphemy. Nobody. I have never mentioned the word Heisman with that man. I just said he is, when it comes to playing the quarterback position, he's what you want at a college
Alex
quarterback.
Heard it too. I don't know if Pat I know Alex heard it.
Look, they ain't even here yet. They think we on at 8:30. So they.
I told him. I sent him a message. I let him know that some of them good church going folk. They're already over there. They're Wednesday night. You know they're not in this. Oh, here we go. There you go. He popped in.
He said he must be talking about the truth.
I'm just saying.
I'm getting me a shirt, white with blue lettering. It just says the truth. We're gonna be wearing it over there. Okay, you're gonna get that going. No, but it's gonna be fun. Hey, Vegas will drop some breadcrumbs, for you to tell you what they're hearing about some teams and some things that stick out to me. Randy Payne, welcome in from Tifton, Georgia. But some things that stick out to me. Look at these Texas A&M lines.
I mean,
6.5 point favorite on the road at Miami. 3-point favorite against Arkansas. That's a neutral site game.
Yeah, that's OD.
I'm just saying.
Here's what I'm saying. I think that Connor Wegman with Evan Stewart and Moose Muhammad and Ananias Smith over there with Bobby Petrino pulling the levers, I think they're going to be a little bit better on offense than we've seen. Definitely better than what we've seen under Jimbo, TK, don't you?
Listen, bro, I hope. But look, we've said all that before. We said all that before. We said them same names.
Well, we said they had the pieces, but Jimbo wasn't.
Now they got the piece.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
when it comes
Bobby
to
Bobby Petrino really getting to call the plays is what it comes down to,
Man, they've been had weapons out wide, Lil Moose, Aeneas, bro. Yeah, bro. Like they had.
Evan Stewart was a freshman last year, and he kind of burst onto the scene. So I'm excited to see what he does year one to year two.
I feel like those spreads ain't super high either. I mean, those are super close. Those could be losses.
But that's on a road game at Miami, so that's really saying you give 3-point advantage, home field advantage. That's really like almost being a 9-point favorite for Texas A&M. So I think that's pretty sporty, not too bad. The Auburn one intrigues me with Georgia and Auburn because you guys have played in that rivalry. It doesn't matter what the records are, it's typically a physical ball game. And I think with Hugh Freeze bringing on Philip Montgomery as his offensive coordinator and Ron Roberts as his defensive coordinator, and all those linemen they've brought in the transfer portal on offense and defense, Auburn's going to be a more physical football team this year than they have been.
Yeah, they definitely will. Obviously, you saw like the last couple of games, even with Cadillac at the calling the plays at the helm, you just saw a physical group of guys, and they obviously retained Cadillac. So I think, yeah, like you said, it'll be another knockout, drag out kind of game, and it always is. Like you mentioned, it's always one of those games that, it's one of the oldest. It's the oldest rivalry in the South. It's always one of those games that just what they call them, a slobber knocker.
Knowshon, were you? You were really encouraged from what I remember last year about how that team kind of flipped the switch once Harsin was fired and Cadillac came aboard. How Jarquez Hunter was really running hard behind that line, and they started running the ball more. In fact, Knowshon, they went from under the first 8 games under Brian Harsin last year, they averaged just under 38 run attempts per game. Once Cadillac took over for the last 4 games, they averaged over 46 run attempts per game. So they were running that rock more. I think Hugh Freeze will keep that up.
Yeah, for sure. And, that brought that mentality too, because that brought that toughness to the games as well. Because if you're going to run the ball well and hard like that, you're going to build some callous and some toughness with the team. So you love that. Cadillac was just able to get through to the guys, and they were playing for him, man. So, I can see what y'all saying when it comes to these coaches joining the team and kind of turning around. I think it's more so the culture of what they've been in, you know what I'm saying? They're changing some culture around. So I like what they did last year. So see, I just don't know. When I looked at their spring game, man, it looked like they had that pop, especially in the run game. And it was
raining like
I know. That's more of a reason why I should have seen more, because they were running. They just ran the whole time. And, but they'll be trying to make excuses for them. I'm back. I know what's going on. I need to see some offensive stuff. All right? Oh, man. But nah.
A Georgia boy, though, from Atlanta, Damari Alston, he went to Woodward Academy out of Atlanta. I thought he looked pretty nice. We know what Jarquez can do when he's healthy, so it'll be interesting.
We're going to see. But I like what they, like you said, how they finished, especially in that run game.
You mentioned culture. One culture that I just don't see improving right now is Florida's.
Oh, man, you're supposed to let us guess.
Oh, I was going to give you a cliffhanger. I don't know. It's going to be hard on Billy Napier because, as you pointed out, TK, the Florida faithful is already getting restless, and I don't know that it's going to get any better this year.
I tried to help him.
I tried.
You did.
I tried to help.
Yeah, you were a Billy Napier proponent last year. You were like, hey, you gotta give this man a chance, all that kind of stuff. But it's tough going right now.
I done jumped on their side. No, I'm just playing. I still rock with Coach Nate, man. It's just tough, bro. Like, obviously, like I said last year, he stepped into a tough situation, something that he didn't build really. But he in it now, and it's just getting worse for him. I mean, y'all mentioned his quarterbacks earlier. I just don't see it happening with them, bro.
No receivers. Yeah, Xavion Henderson, their best receiver, in the portal, gone after spring. He looked around. Remember that tweet I posted, TK? He looked around. He was like, his back drawn out the door.
I'll let you. Yeah, I just don't see it happening for him, bro. And then, like we talking about offense the whole time. Defensively, it ain't no better over there. So I don't know, bro. It's just I'm pretty down on them. Not you, Coach Nate. Not you, Billy. Not you, Coach Nate.
Well, without further ado on all that, we've talked about the lines. We've talked about the over/under win totals. If we had a little drum roll, I need to get me a drum roll thing to on the board over here to get the sound going on to reveal these power rankings. And what we have right here that I'm going to bring on screen are TK and Knowshon's post-spring power rankings. Okay, so here's the first 5 are all the same. Actually, the first 6. You got
it was tough in there, man, because especially
Knowshon is what TK referred to Missouri over there.
That's his boy. That's good. That's my boys.
My boys is who Knowshon said is 6. But the first 6, all the same as who you have.
I was almost bringing them up to 5.
Don't you got your
Don't
you got your NBA from Miami? Not like Mizzou, no shit like that. You
Yeah. Chill out. Yeah, I got my NBA over there in Miami.
Listen. So TK, for all that you were talking about with the Aggies and not being a believer, you got them up at number 7 in your power rankings, where Knowshon has them down at 12. So y'all tell us about the disparity there.
Let me tell you something. I am off on them, but I am off on them. But listen, that 7 right there is all because of everything you said, bro. It's that hope factor, bro. I see it. It's like that. It's like, man, you know how you look at something on paper and you like, oh my goodness. Like, that's like the Phoenix Suns. You got Chris Paul, you got Devin Booker, you got KD, big DeAndre Ayton out there. You like, oh, there's some shit out there. They in their ass whooped by Big Yoke out right now. Big Yoke out there doing his thing. So I don't know, bro. That's why they're at 7, really, is because it's the hope factor, bro. You got so much out there, like as you mentioned, Evan Stewart, Moose Muhammad, all them boys out wide. Got to figure that quarterback stuff out. And if Jimbo hands it over to our guy, maybe I'll be right.
Knowshon, why do you disagree so much?
I'm just not really confident in that quarterback position. It's all about quarterback play for me, and in that run game. You know what I mean? I mean, that's what it's about. And I'm just not really confident in Wigman. I think he's okay, right? And maybe he gets better this year and goes out there and does his thing. But I'm just not really confident in that. And then, man, the more I look at my own list, I'm like, shoot, I don't know. Yeah, it's tough because Auburn, man, Auburn makes it tough for me. Because I can almost switch them and Vandy. But,
listen, I think I'm a lot higher on Auburn than y'all are when I reveal mine. But let's circle back up to the top real quick, because Chris Foster, our resident Tennessee fan that tunes in here with us, he says LSU at 2 is a bit wild. But before we talk about LSU at 2, obviously Georgia, back-to-back national champions. They're returning 8 starters on defense. They're returning so many weapons on offense. They lose Kenny McIntosh out of the backfield, but they still have 5 scholarship backs that all, when fall camps come around, is going to be healthy. Carson Beck is the only real question, and he looks to be putting those questions to bed early. Guys, this offensive line, here's how crazy this is. They just had 2 guys drafted in the draft this year, and they could possibly have 3 more drafted next year off this upcoming offensive line. Georgia, I mean, without number 1 with a bullet, right? I mean, that's why you both got them there.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you're returning so much. And then the thing that I love the most, is I think that receiver room got better. You add weapons.
Knowshon's Missouri boys taking dominant love it.
Yeah, but we'll take it. We'll for sure take it. Obviously add to that, add McConkey. Saw him this weekend, got to chop it up with him a little bit. Great kid. You add to that room, which I'm super excited about. But I mean, that defense, dude, as you mentioned, it just gets better and better. So I'm excited about what the Dogs are going to do. But Chris, you talk about LSU at 2. I think if you weren't, he probably wasn't here earlier when you were saying it, but how did they not get better? Let's talk about that. How does LSU not get better? Jaden Daniels, that kid played lights out all year long.
And people forget, it's not like Jaden Daniels had a long time in that system under Mike Denbrock. That was his first year, and he just kind of he was in a QB battle. He wasn't even getting all the 1 reps before that season got started.
Let's backpedal. Whose guy was that? Let's give him his credit. Whose guy
that was Knowshon. Knowshon called it early. He said Jaden Daniels was the guy. Here's why LSU is going to be so dangerous this year is because they return everybody on the offensive line. They have the best receiving core in the SEC. They have Jaden Daniels going from year 1 in that system to year 2 in that system.
You understand it? You want to Yeah, that's tough, but you kind of just disrespected GA like that because I feel like they got that best receiving room. Don't do
I think
it.
that you did
Okay.
say that. You
Right.
claimed Georgia was number one, but I think you can
Receiving
only
room.
throw Georgia in that conversation of having the best wide receiver room when you include Brock Bowers in the conversation. And he's not. I mean, technically, by the letter of the law, he's not a wide receiver. He's a tight end. You know, because he's their leading receiver. But
I don't know.
I mean, you talk about Malik
we're gonna
Neighbors.
debate that some other night.
We don't just get to do that when it's convenient for us, Blaine.
Yeah.
No, I'm just asking. I'm asking, is that the rules? Is that what the rules?
I wasn't even really putting them in there, really, and I still like their room. That's tough. That's a real good.
Be real.
That's a good battle. I don't know.
I think I do too, bro.
That's close. That's really close, though. I see what you're saying, but you try to slip that in. You know, sometimes I gotta slow you down.
I think Malik Neighbors, Kyron Lacey, over there, Brian Thomas. Those three guys alone are just go-getters for LSU. They have a little slot back over there.
Now go ahead and say what
we got.
Now talk about Georgia's real quick.
We got four off the top.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm telling you that I know that I know what you're saying. Malik Neighbors was that dude last year, and now Kyron Lacey looks like he's going to be. So I just think that LSU is really talented. But we've said all along.
Go ahead.
We've said all along that the best three, that group of three wide receiving corps this year is going to be who? LSU, Georgia, and Kentucky. Those are the best three over there. Now, Chris is not going to like that because he thinks Tennessee should be involved in that conversation, but I can't involve him in that conversation with Cedric Tillman and Jalen Hyatt gone because Ramel Keaton and Squirrel White haven't done enough yet to show that, hey, they're going to be up there at that top tier, especially losing Hendon Hooker. So
I like Little Squirrel, bro. If Little Squirrel can run some routes, if he can run the route tree, it's going to be nasty. Because he
so the top six receivers you got for LSU: Kyron Lacey, Brian Thomas Jr. He's your big guy. You're 6'3", 6'4" X type guy. Malik Neighbors, the do it everything type Y receiver. Landon Ibetta, who is he's like a Wes Welker type. Then you got Chris Hilton, another big receiver, and Aaron Anderson is a 5-star that transferred in from Alabama. So I mean, the rich get richer at wide receiver.
Throw that up there. If you let's do that. Let's talk about that. If you include Brock with UGA, and then include Mason Taylor, I think I'm taking the Dogs.
Yeah, it's pretty close, no doubt. I mean, they'd be right there neck and neck. Now, Alabama's obviously got a really talented wide receiver core too, but we mentioned their quarterback worries, so. There we are with the top six. We talked about y'all's difference with Texas A&M. I'm trying to see any other big difference that y'all had there.
I mean, Mississippi State, maybe.
Mississippi State is the other big one.
I love me some Will Rogers. I know they're going into a new system and all the other stuff. I know the stuff that happened, and I feel like the guys play with a chip in their shoulder, and I feel like Will Rogers can do it all. He's seen it all, and I think just because we're switching the playbook up a little bit, I think he's smart enough to be able to adjust and go out there and do what he's been doing in the other system. Maybe not as much passing, but he'll be able to accomplish some things, I think. So I'm really intrigued to see what he looks like in this new system.
No doubt. But I got to keep up with the comments here. Alex Page is mentioning about LSU. He said LSU's got those dudes. Listen, Harold Perkins, Mason Smith coming back. They got Mekhi Wingo up there at the nose tackle. They got Omar Spates. That transferred in, a really good linebacker from Oregon State. I'm telling you, I like LSU. I'm gonna go ahead.
Oh man,
she don't want that 2-footed bad boy. She don't want that Dos Zapatos animal. You know what I'm saying?
Mark it down. It's May 10th. LSU's gonna win the West, and I think that they're going to win it convincingly. Like I don't think they're going to take a step back at all. I think LSU will go undefeated in the regular season. There's my dose of patos.
Oh, okay. Wait a minute.
That he gonna make me grab a pen.
I think LSU goes undefeated in the regular season. That's how I feel about them because of those things Alex is saying. Because of that progression of that offense, I really do.
Wow.
I don't know if I can agree with that, Blaine. Because it's the SEC. I don't know if I trust them that much to not slip up with somebody over there. I don't know. I don't trust them.
Let me go get them real fast. They got Florida State to start. Ain't gonna be an easy one, Coach. Let's
No, it
start
ain't gonna
there,
be easy.
and then let's keep on going. Okay, they got a little, and that's at Florida State too, man. We really
No, it's a
It's
neutral.
neutral.
Site.
It's neutral.
It's
site.
neutral. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Oh, yeah,
But
okay.
I mean, it's in Orlando, so
Okay. And then you still can't sleep on Bama, and it's in Tuscaloosa, man. I mean, bro, you went there on that one. I wrote it down. I love it. I love it, man.
Hey, I like.
For the East.
I'm riding your coattails from last year with the Jaden Daniels train because not only that, I also think Jaden Daniels is going to end up in New York.
Huh?
I think Jaden Daniels is going to end up in New York as a Heisman finalist. I really do. I think he's going to have a huge year.
With Leary?
No, Devin Leary is not going to be there. He's not going to be there because Kentucky is not going to win enough games for him to get there. You know, now listen, one thing that y'all do agree on, I messed up on the graphic on TK's. I put 2 14s instead of a 13 production, you know, but y'all both put Florida below Vandy. Is that just because Vandy beat Florida last year?
I mean, absolutely number one, but we mentioned it earlier in the show. I just don't see them getting any better. Like at least you saw Clark Lee and them boys getting better over there. Like you saw progression in what they were doing, what that program was doing. Like you saw progression, but you saw regression. You saw that shit the other way for Florida. And again, like nothing you hear out of there is good. Nothing. I ain't heard nothing good. So
he says I heard nothing good.
Nothing, bro. So you effing suck.
Bad.
You effing suck right now.
Knowshon, you running? How you doing on time? You running good?
I mean, not really, but not. We good.
Okay.
I'm just messing with you, man. We good.
I'm gonna flip over to mine real quick.
Yeah,
and show
you shit. Think I was smart. Let me see. What's different? Oh, you got Texas. Well, you got pretty much close.
I got Texas A&M higher than y'all, just by one spot on TK, but several spots. I think. And Alex is asking me just to clarify. Yes, I think my dose of patos with the LSU goes undefeated in the regular season. I think they will go undefeated in the regular season.
I think that's a stretch, bud.
I don't know. I like that. He put the toes down on it. So
that's what I'm saying. I think they're going to be that defense. I think is going to be very, very salty, and then they're going to have. I think they're a whole lot better on that side of the ball, and then Jaden Daniels markedly better, I believe, from year 1 to year 2 under Mike Denbrock there. Now, where I think that the team that I have at 10, they're Auburn. I will say this. I could see Auburn being that team that kind of comes from nowhere this year. And you remember LSU last year, nobody was expecting anything from them. I think you could see that kind of jump because they just brought in Peyton Thorne. I'm saying I
ain't hear that man say he ain't like him at all.
But we were still expecting high. We had high expectations for LSU still because of that receiving room.
Not that high, not what they got. You know, we weren't expecting them to win the SEC West. And I'm not saying Auburn's going to win.
You said nobody was going to beat. You the one that said Alabama was going to beat shit out of everybody. We ain't
about 15.
Yeah, but none of us picked LSU to be. None of us preseason last year picked LSU.
I had them high. But not like not like
you were the highest on LSU of any of us last year. I think you had them either second or third in the West over there.
Yeah, you're right.
I will acknowledge that. Roman Reigns says acknowledge me. I'm gonna acknowledge you, Knowshon.
But you saying that Alabama Auburn could kind of be like that where they could maybe win 9?
No, I think okay, so their over under is 6.5, right? I think Auburn can easily get to 8 wins and maybe push for a 9th with a great year by Peyton Thorne, because they brought in Peyton Thorne, who I don't care. The Big Ten is the second best conference in college football. Okay. Other than behind the SEC, and he had played at a high level when he had a running game behind Kenneth Walker. Yeah. And I think with what Auburn has added on the offensive line, and then having Jarquez Hunter and Damari Alston, I think that will be enough support. Now the question is, TK, do they have
no Walker
that can win? They can win a one-on-one matchup.
That's the issue.
That is the issue. They did bring in a big, freaky tight end, 6'4", 6'5", long arms, and Rivaldo Fairweather. He transferred in. Tavarres Johnson is their leading receiver coming back, so they're going to have to develop out their weapons on the edge.
Defense, though? We skipping that. Tell me about
exactly.
They brought in Justin Rogers from Kentucky at nose tackle, who's a big guy that's going to eat up the middle over there. They brought in DeMario Tolan to transfer from LSU at linebacker. That should start for him. They return Keontae Scott at the nickel.
2 guys on the
ends. Yeah, what about out wide?
Yeah.
They did lose one, but they have Nehemiah Pritchett coming back over there that started a lot of games. So they're it's just like Georgia. They're replacing one experienced corner and returning another experienced corner in terms of that. So that I just think they're a team that could be a dark horse. I almost put South Carolina below Mississippi State because that's how much I don't believe in South Carolina. I just really don't. I think that Shane Beamer is a great person. If you talk to him like off the field, like he would be a great guy, but I don't think he's a good leader of a college football program. I think he writes checks that hit with his mouth that his tush can't cash, and I think they're going to absolutely get hammered by some teams. I mean, he's out here talking about, oh yeah, there's a coach in the SEC, talking to Busting the Boy. There's a coach in the SEC that I'd love to fight and all this kind of stuff. And
shit, set that shit up, pay-per-view.
Who was saying that?
Exactly. Shane Beamer at South Carolina. And you know who he's talking about? He's talking about Kirby. Listen, Kirby
put them hands
that
on
man's heart out and watch it beat right in front of him.
Kirby put them hands on him.
For sure.
I already know Kirby put them. Yeah, Kirby put the paws on his ass.
He got about 20 pounds.
Yeah. Yo, get off my dog. Get off my dog, Kirby, man. We eating good.
No, I'm just saying.
Legs with the heavy butter over here for the back-to-back champs.
Somebody do squats. It don't look like Shane do those squats. Come on, man.
Alec told us that Kirby was over there directing traffic at basketball.
Hey, yeah, that's right. That's right, Shane. We over here doing cardio and shit at Father House. Get right. Hit right. You come see about this shit if you want to. Hands certified. These hands like crime.
Absolutely. I saw, speaking of which, somebody put a poll out that they said, hey, if there was a fight, like a fighting tournament or something between all the SEC head coaches out there, and they put Sam Pittman as number one, Sam Pittman would be blown up out of breath 30 seconds into a fight because that man is about eating. That man is eating.
But I don't know. Pit boss get a couple of them bruises in him. He might turn into a whole different animal, man. He turn into a little bulldog, so about there. Yeah, I don't know. He might be on something.
Alex says, I got to lighten up. You got to have more fun with the offseason. But listen, you can have fun when Kirby should be the one having fun in the offseason right now. Him and Nick Saban, because they've actually done something. But if you're out there trying to have fun and be cute, Alex, with all this stuff and you ain't done nothing like Beamer has done nothing at South Carolina, I think you're setting yourself up for backlash when things go south. Like I feel like they're about to go south for South Carolina this year.
So you took that real personal, ain't it?
And it's like that Michael Jordan meme, and I took that personally. So it's going to be. Alex Page says, and then Pittman be spilling on liquor the rest of the evening. Absolutely, sipping on liquor. Yeah, he could also cut the Ric Flair.
You kind of disrespected Mandy, I feel like, still underneath Florida. Okay,
listen,
that's how I feel.
You talked about Tennessee. They've got to prove it more than 1 year. Vandy's got to prove it more than 1 year. Can they give it back to back?
So you tell me, all right. So last thing, Sauce got to go. You got to go. Check this out. Vandy beating Florida this year?
Ooh, tell me. Oh, hold on now.
Where is that game at?
I think it
was at Vandy last year, right?
I think it's in Florida.
It's at the Swamp this year. I can't pick Vandy.
I can't either.
I can't pick Vandy. Not with any kind of confidence.
Hey, look, I can't.
Yeah, picking them all. Okay, I was ready to write something down.
It's not Vandy hate, Alex. It's not Vandy. He goes, "What's up with the Vandy hate?" It's not Vandy hate. It's just Vandy status quo. You know what I'm saying? It's just Hey, what I'm doing is I'm providing Vandy some bulletin board material. There you go, Clark Lee. You're welcome. Pick your last. Go ahead and get things going. But guys, it's been
hold
awesome.
on. One more second. My fault.
Yeah.
I just saw something that you be trying to creep them up slowly and surely every year. My Missouri boys, talk about them again, because you see they up at 7 now.
Yeah, I like Missouri's defense a ton, and I would probably have Missouri up at 6 over Texas A&M, right. And I may even have Missouri
had him at 5
over Kentucky at 5 if I had more confidence in what they have going offensively, because I don't know. Brady Cook was too hit or miss. I don't even know that he's going to win the job. Is it going to be Jake Garcia? Luther Burden's their only real weapon. They got Theo Wease, but Theo Wease is more of a old head with a banged up knee that's going to just kind of provide some leadership over there. I feel like Dominic Lovett's out at Georgia now, and they don't really have a marquee weapon at running back. So I'm just nervous of them offensively. But man, if that defense is as good as we think it's going to be, they're going to have it. Missouri will have a chance to be in every game this year.
Like it, yes, sir. All right.
I agree with that.
So it's going to be we enjoy chopping it up. Knowshon's got a little bit. He's got to go to tonight. Get to go take care of business. So, but we appreciate all of you guys tuning in. Make sure to hit that like button. That really helps us out. Subscribe, turn on notification. I got to put this up from Andy Stover. He said Kirby and Shane Beamer and Hell in a Cell would be like Mankind and Taker all over again. No doubt. So we appreciate you guys tuning in. For my guys, TK and Knowshon, make sure to catch us next Wednesday night. We'll be back to regular time at 8:30, and we'll catch you guys next time on Georgia Players Section with Tavarres and Knowshon on UGAsports.com.
The best in this sport. Whether you like it or not, learn to love it, because it's the best thing going today. Woo!